All praises to the Most High Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, double honors to the elders, the apostle of James who were well, and likewise elders in Israel. Shalom to the for the elect, Lord willing. This video is edifying. Now, I'm gonna play this video and play a bit.
Congress finally passed that long-delayed $61 billion military aid package for Ukraine last month.
$61 billion that Congress, which is America, passed to aid Ukraine, right? And we all know, that the Russians are Edomites. So I'm gonna bring the scripture out right here, and I'm gonna get into it. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So you got these Edomites fighting other Edomites. So how is their society gonna stand? The fact is, it's not. And as it gets worse and worse, as you play through the video, you see, man, Russia is doing an absolute work in Ukraine, man. And Russia's already warned the US not to get involved, but now the US is actually helping to fund them. It's like if I have an issue with you, right, and somebody else is fighting you, and I don't want to fight you directly, so I start funding somebody, but I'm funding them. Now I know now you're gonna have an issue with me, right? It says the friend of the enemy of the enemy is my friend. So that's how the US is dealing with this. But the fact is that ultimately the same group of people. We just showed you how demonic Esau is, because he will fight himself, man. People have said this before. If Jake weren't alive, if these Hamites weren't there, if Japheth weren't there, Esau would just fight himself until there's nothing left, man. He wants to be king of the shit pile. And if you I know brother's seen that cartoon where this Edomite's walking through. It's like a cartoon, right? Where he's bombing, he's just eating stuff out of wrapper and then dashing it. This man is and in his scriptural, I think it was Elder Manasseh Akbar brought a video about it. In the end, a chariot came down and took him in chains, man. So let's play a bit.
Well, our Ukraine correspondent James Waterhouse has been following Antony Blinken's visit for us.
Good morning, State Secretary. Nice to meet you again. Olena, Chief of Protocol.
A 9-hour sleeper train is still the best way to Kyiv, even if you're America's.
That's going to make a real difference against the ongoing Russian aggression on the battlefield.
And this is what it looks like now. A year and a half of stalemate has suddenly turned into a significant Russian offensive in a week.
And the thing is, it's not a stalemate. Because Ukraine ain't invading Russia. They're in your hometown, blowing you up. You talking about as a stalemate. If somebody come into my house, start running through my house and burning down my house, and that house is perfectly fine. That as a matter of fact, Russia ain't even in debt. How is it a stalemate? You're getting your ass whooped. Yeah, I was looking at this is Habakkuk 2:5. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Now, let's look at where the US is, right? In juxtaposition, in contrast to where the US is, right? Let's see this. Here you got Russia over there. US is all the way over there. Now, you're going to travel all the way from your home to go and bother these people. So you can't even mind your business, man. This is why everybody in the world hates Esau. And I was with the brothers the other day and I brought this out. It says, this is an Amazon book. It says how we've invaded or been military involved with almost every country, right? It says Americans have invaded nearly half the world's countries and been militarily involved with all the rest except Andorra, Bhutan, and Liechtenstein. So only 3 countries in the world has America not had some kind of military dealings with. And there's like 195 countries in the world. Let's see how many countries in the world. Let's see this here. 195. So this total comprises 193 countries that are member states of the United Nations and 2 countries that are non. So 195 countries in the world. So you've been at war with 192. I saw something that said 194, but just for argument's sake, let's say 192 countries that the US has either invaded or been militaristically involved in. You know, like what kind of what kind of madman do you have to be to go everywhere and cause problems everywhere you go? There was a scripture, right? This is the book. All the countries that Americans have ever invaded. Following on from Laycock's All the Countries Ever Invaded, the author turned their attention to the USA and present an A to Z of articles describing American invasion, bombing, or military involvement in conflict and peacetime with a staggering 194 countries. Damn. Along with the obvious Iraq and Afghanistan and Vietnam, there are some surprising forays, including attacks on 18th century Canada. So, look, where's the world map that I had before? You look at the world map, right? Damn, Canada's right there. They will fight their own neighbors, man. Which just shows you the mindset of these Edomites. The 1856 Watermelon War in Panama and the ill-fated polar bear expedition into Russia in 1819. So they probably, man, Esau is a piece of work, man. This is an article. It says how many countries has the US invaded as of 2024. Let's see the Russian invasion of Ukraine. No single list of countries the US has invaded can be considered truly comprehensive. But there was a list, right? Well, you got all of this. Great Britain, the War of 1812, Mexico, the Mexican-American War, the Spanish-American War, World War One, which was with Germany, and they also, they're allied with Austria and Hungary, so they fought them as well. And Germany again in World War Two, Italy, Japan, Bulgaria, Hungary, Romania, which were all involved in World War Two. And you got a list, right, of everybody that the US has either invaded or been militaristically involved with. And it says here specific role. And I counted it was like 105 countries. But you look at it, it says retaliation, protection, piracy, suppression, protection, peacekeeping. So they'll go there and peacekeep. But you're the reason why there was war there in the first place. Protection, peacekeeping, terrorist suppression, peacekeeping. And let's go into the scriptures, right? Let's get this here. No, let's get Daniel 8:2-5 first. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. And who's the prince of princes? Yahushua. Right? So he even wants to fight against the Lord. This is how bugged out this man is. The Republic of Congo, right? Terrorist suppression. Now we know what that really was about. This is about killing off Jake and taking their resources. Iran, peacekeeping, covert action, military action, peacekeeping. And we know what they were doing in Iran. Same thing. Bombing them, getting their resources. Turkey, show of force. Show of force for what? Turkey weren't bothering them. In response to killing of Americans, protected US interests during the Balkan War, protected US interests during Greek occupation, counter-terrorism efforts against Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, and Islamic State of Iraq and Levant. Now, Turkey don't have the military capacity to be able to fight the US, but he's still going there under some pretense or some other. And we all know, right, through the spirit, that they had no reason to even go into Iraq and Al-Qaeda and all of this stuff. These people say it all up. So they had no reason to even go there. And it says protection, show of force. You're just a violent man. What the hell does show of force mean? Like somebody's minding their business and you punch them in the face just to show them that you can. Protection, protect the country during threat of communist invasion, anti-poaching training, peacekeeping. So they're military involved in Tanzania. Who knows what resources were being taken out the country? Even the United Kingdom provided deterrent air presence in wake of Russian invasion of Crimea. You go through it, it's like 105 countries: peacekeeping, terrorist suppression, protection, peacekeeping, protection. I'm gonna go into one scripture real quick, right? This is First Thessalonians 4:11, and that ye study to be quiet and to do your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you. And this is the New International Version, right? First Thessalonians 4:11, and to make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, you should mind your own business and work with your hands, just as we told you. So really, Esau is supposed to mind his business and do his due diligence. But what he's done to his own society, he's basically broken it down, and he's basically what's the word, where you outsource everything in your country to other countries. So now to make sure that they facilitate you, you go in there and do a show of force to make sure that they do what you want them to do, instead of you being self-sustaining and you basically sustaining yourself off your own effort. And this man is based. I was watching a video earlier today with one of the elders, and this Edomite, that Jake was asking this Edomite, he said, if I come into your house, right, and I start throwing a party in your house, but it's your house and I kick you out, if I'm a good person, will I give your house back to you? And he said yes. And he was like, so why are you still here in the USA? So he understands what's right and what's wrong, but according to him, it doesn't apply to him, right? This is Proverbs 21:15. It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. And this is what these people are, man. You're going around, you're causing problems. Even the Ukraine-Russian situation, it's got nothing to do with anybody else in the world. They're their own people. It's like me having a fight with my family, and then my neighbors when I get involved. It's got nothing to do with you. Or I have a fight with my brother, right? I'm having an issue with my brother, and now everybody in the family is getting involved. But these times there's an issue with me and my brother. The scriptures even say if you have a fault with a brother, you take him aside and you deal with him. It's meant to be between you and him. It doesn't really have to involve anybody else. But this is what the Lord is doing, right? Hardening their hearts and bringing everybody and involving everybody. So ultimately, he can find occasion to destroy them. Let me bring up a couple more scriptures. I'm gonna end it on there, man. And brothers can check it out, man. Let me just play a little bit of this, and I'm gonna end that on the scripture.
Jacob, who's executive director for Ukraine's Independent Defense Anti-Corruption Committee, and from Ukraine's point of view, these weapons are coming from all these different countries I've just run through, but it's still not enough.
Absolutely, it's not enough. The 6 months delay of assistance package from the US Congress caused not only Ukraine losing territories on the Eastern Front, but also significant damage to Ukrainian civilian infrastructure, Ukrainian energy infrastructure. There was a recent analysis published just yesterday that Russia doubled its effort in bombarding Ukraine with missiles and with drones in those 6 months that we were experiencing the assistance delay. And Ukrainian interception rate of Russian missiles fell from 70% to 46%. And therefore...
So basically, they're not able to deal with these Russian bombs. So they said they could deal with 70% of them, and now they can only deal with 46% of them. And people are out there talking about how Ukraine is fighting back against Russia. Ukraine is getting wiped out, man. And what's funny is, the scriptures talk about the Lord being a man of war. The Lord is so strategic with it, right? That he's got this war here, and he's got war, in Israel. He's got people in Chad, Niger, kicking US troops out. So he's bringing all of this to a head, right? If you have you look at AIDS, it is a breakdown of your immune system. You don't actually die from AIDS. What you die from is your immune system being so weak that you could die from a cold. That's how you die from AIDS. You don't actually die from the disease. You die from your immune system being so sick that you can scratch yourself and you can catch tetanus or whatever the case may be, and you die from that. This is what the Lord's doing to this place, man. You know, this place is sick, and what the Lord is doing is He's setting it up where any little thing can set this whole thing off. Ecclesiastes 3:8. I'm gonna end off with this: a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So this is not a time of peace, man. You know, this is a time to hate. This is a time of war. You know, and the Lord is gonna crank this up, Lord willing. You know, there's no way this can keep going on, because if you really look into the beef of Russia and America, they've been fighting since pretty much the end of the World War II. They've been fighting. They've been having this little Cold War where they've been talking about the Soviet Union and the little propaganda. They've been having a war with Russia for a very long time, man. It's like you keep sending shots to somebody, you keep bad mouthing them. Eventually, tempers are gonna flare to the point where you're just gonna be like, well, you know what? You got an issue. Let's deal with it. And this is what they're doing right now, man. They're just dancing about it. But soon enough, tempers are gonna flare to the point where it's all gonna kick off, Lord willing, man. And this place will be an end. We don't know how long that'll be. You know, only the Lord knows. But you know, Lord willing, the Lord puts it into third, fourth, and fifth and sixth gear, man, and just put this place in the ground where it needs to be. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, brothers should look into the places that they that the US have fought, just so you can actually understand how destructive these people are. You know, let me bring up one last scripture. This is Proverbs 21:15. It is a joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. Jeremiah 51:20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. So when the Lord lift up the standard, which is Jacob, Jacob is going to come down, you know, and just destroy all of this place, man. Ultimately, these people are going to fight each other, and Jake is gonna come along and just decimate the rest of it. You're not gonna recover from what the Lord is gonna do to you, man. You know, and then Israel's gonna be up. You know, Lord willing. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, double honors to the elders and apostles of Jeremiah who were well, and likewise elders, shalom to those elect.